Dirt Tracks is sponsored by Polaris, think outside. Can-Am, time for some off-road living. And by Yamaha, revs your heart.
All right, Dirt Tracks viewers, so we have come to the end of the season, and we're all a little bit sad, but at the same time, we've all had a great year, and we really want to go over each of our favorite picks, or maybe not favorite, but some of the highlights of this season that really stand out as impressive vehicles, something that's unique, something that's cool, or maybe it just fits a budget really nicely, maybe it doesn't. Two of the vehicles that stood out to me this year, one of them I'm probably gonna get scathing hate mail for, but I really don't care because after spending time on it, I really enjoyed it, and that's the Ranger Kinetic. It's the ultimate. It's got the 29.8 kilowatt hour battery. I thought I was gonna hate it because the previous Ranger Electric was like a golf cart on really poor steroids. This one is everything I thought it could be and then so much more.
I 100% agree. I've driven it quite a bit this year and I was like, I'm gonna hate this. I don't even wanna like this. And I drove it and I was like, dang, I really like this.
Good. It's actually funny because I thought out of the three of us, you would be the one that might have liked it the least.
No.
I was at the intro last year and I love this machine. Like it just lights up when you press the throttle and it feels like every bit like a Ranger.
Yeah, it lasts a long flipping time. Now, this being said, in Canada, it's $48,000 for the ultimate plus tax. Like you're talking mid $50,000 range. So this is an investment for a three-seater. But that being said, if you need an electric vehicle or if it fits the bill for your area, I was blown away. I rode it for a week and a half on one battery charge. Now that wasn't every day for 100 kilometers, but I did go out every single day and did something around the house and it didn't need to be charged.
Yeah, see, you are the target market for this machine. You've got a good chunk of property and this is what this vehicle is targeted for. Like it's for someone who has property, they're gonna use it for chores around the house, going for light riding, you know, that sort of thing.
There's no disillusions that this is like your go out and go on a trail ride for 2 days vehicle.
No.
Like, but nobody expects that from it.
And you know what? I was thinking about that too, because we do get a lot of comments from guys who are like, oh, I go out and do a 100-mile ride. But if you're doing 100 miles every day, are you buying a Ranger?
No.
Well, probably not, right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
not the right
it's
rate.
not even your market.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. So that was my standout on, I will say, the higher end of the spectrum price-wise. And then on the polar opposite, I absolutely love the new Outlander Pro. Like, we have the hunting edition and we had the XMR, and the hunting edition was the full Pro jam-packed HD7.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think it is the most refined, smoothest riding, smoothest running engine in the entire business. Like I would pick that over their higher horsepower ATVs because it's so flipping smooth.
It's such a good class, and it's funny that you brought that up because I totally forgot that about that machine. It's an awesome machine. It is every bit that you said. It's refined. It does have a lot of electronics on it, which I personally think is really cool. Like you can literally customize your whole ride with the electronic engine braking, throttle control, EPS.
For a vehicle in that price range to have that much technology is pretty much unheard of.
And it rides and handles nice. You're not sacrificing anything with that smaller engine.
When you go to shift it, you don't have to do this anymore.
Don't ever do that again.
You don't have to do that.
It's got an itch you're scratching.
That's right, yeah. But it goes into gear like it's supposed to. And honestly, I would say that this is the most, and I say this very respectfully, the most Japanese-American ATV I've ever ridden. And in fact, it surpasses the feel and the vibration-less experience. It is really, really good.
Right, you and I did have the opportunity to pit it against the Grizzly, which is the class leader there, and I mean, we both agreed that it's its first year, but man, I think
super high mileage.
Money down for it.
Who knows? But
exactly,
initial experience, absolutely top notch.
Dirt Tracks is sponsored by Hercules Tire. Ride on our strength.
Who's next?
I picked two different vehicles. The first one that I really enjoyed this year was the Z-Force 950 Sport. I had an opportunity to test out both the 800 Trail and the Sport, and I was so impressed with the Sport for a couple different reasons. You know, I think CF Moto has done an amazing job in refinement. They've done a great job at checking their quality and improving their quality. It's got beautiful doors. You know, it's not without its flaws. To be honest with you, I wasn't a fan of the tires. The shocks aren't as intuitive as I wanted them to be. You know, it's using a CF Moto. To be honest with you, I'm saying all this, and realistically, we should just do a build of that machine.
But you know what's cool about CF Moto is that their whole hallmark is deliver it from the dealership with all the stuff that you got to pay at another dealership for. And typically the price of it is, yeah, it's not like 30 to 50% less than a North American or Japanese manufacturer, but it is probably like 20% less, and it comes with all the stuff. It's got a winch, it's got doors, it's got a roof, it's got a windshield a lot of the
times. Now in the
past,
though, that meant taking a hit on build quality and overall quality, but I agree with Mike. After driving both of those vehicles, CF Moto has gone from like down here in terms of like finish quality, build quality, and just general feel quality to like way up here. I'd put it on par. That Sport, I'd put that on par with any other 60-inch Sport side-by-side. I really would.
I agree with you. My prediction is if CF Moto can continue on this level, then they are going to be a real threat.
What's your number two?
Number two, actually, I just finished my test ride on it, was the Wolverine X2 1000. Now, the model I tested was the SE. In the US, it's called the XTR, but this thing is awesome. Like, I said this in my test ride, and I wasn't just saying it, but literally, this is a machine I would buy if I was going to buy it. It's you know, apart from some body styling differences, it's every bit that the R-Max is. Same engine and same cab, so you got your 999cc twin that absolutely rips. And you know, it's got the Sachs ZF shocks, you know, fully adjustable piggybacks.
Those are a great shock too. They're so undersold. They are a really good shock.
And the surprising thing was the value. I mean, it's significantly less than an R-Max.
It's a really good deal. It is a very good buy, and they've specifically targeted that to like, we're gonna crush the market with this vehicle and just put it out there with a bunch of good stuff. Maybe not Fox shocks or, you know, Walker Evans or whatever you have you. No, it's not, you know, electronic valve. You don't need that to go and have fun. Like, yeah, that's cool and those are great, but this is a really high value.
Yeah, to be honest with you, the thing that impressed me most is the ride and handling. You know, it
very much based on the R-Max, so very similar in ride and handling.
And I know you guys love the R-Max.
But very different than the Wolverine. Very different.
That's the key.
That's the thing that people might get confused.
I don't understand why they use the name Wolverine, because like the Wolverine, but this thing is like
R-Max Light.
Yeah,
even though it's not really, but it needs to be R-Max Light. It's better than the old Wolverine by a long shot.
You could be like Q-Max, one step before the R.
I would have had to gone back and done my ABCs for that.
I just did.
That's good alphabet.
I just did.
Dirt Tracks is sponsored by Princess Auto. Make it work.
My experience this year has been slightly different than you guys, because the vehicles I tested are all like the check every box, like go take out a loan on your house to buy one.
And Prada bag.
Yeah, right. I had to show up my Prada bag and my Louboutins, right, to drive them. But a couple of vehicles that really stood out to me. First is the Expedition Adventure. Now we have the ultimate 5-seater full jam, but man, it's not vehicle-wise a new category. I mean, it's a 5-seat sort of general-ish type vehicle, but when you put that full cab on it, when you put that solid rear cover, hard glass around the box, it becomes a completely different vehicle to drive, to feel, just the way you use it. Obviously, that's the North Star, so it's heated and like air conditioning and the whole 9 yards.
Massage seats in it?
Well, I was really disappointed. I was driving and I said to our camera operator, I was like, man, my back's really sore. Why doesn't this thing massage my back? You know, like complaining. But I actually did have the thought that heated seats would make so much sense.
It would.
Yeah. They probably have it available.
They will sometime, yeah. But it's just such a again, refined vehicle that is really smooth, handles great, rides better than I think anything I've ever driven. and you can take your whole family in it. You stay dry, you stay warm, and all of your gear stays dry and warm.
Yeah, you can put
too.
the dog in the back or something like that, and like he's completely
And if you
content.
fold the rear seats down, I can sleep in the back on a mattress.
Yeah.
So like, totally crazy.
So I agree with you. I think it's a really cool machine. I have to admit, when I first saw the price point, because let's make no mistake, it's almost 60 grand. We're almost at the $60,000 mark in Canada, but that's still 45 grand US. And when I saw that price tag, I was like, oh dang, this thing's gonna be amazing. Like, I'm so excited. And I'm like, this is gonna be like getting behind the wheel of like a brand new Chevy Blazer, which incidentally costs less in Canada than this machine. And when I got in the driver's seat, I felt like I was driving a General, which is fine because the General's an awesome machine. I think Polaris missed the mark. They missed recognizing this as the evolution in their side-by-side category. You've got Ranger, you've got General, you've got Razor. This is the Expedition. And in my opinion, it was an opportunity for Polaris to showcase something like completely refined.
I really felt that it was very refined. And the funny thing is, the couple guys I took riding with me who are off-road and truck guys all got in it and said, this feels like my truck. Now, is it a truck? No. Can it be a truck? No, because like your road vehicle has parts and stuff that won't survive being smashed through. I mean, I jumped it over at the track, right? So like you can't do that with your typical interior. You can't hose out.
I mean, you can, but
just once, one time.
you get one shot.
But driving it, that was the thing that got me on that vehicle, was driving it felt like nothing I've ever driven in terms of smoothness, in terms of comfort. It just made me go, and it's funny, you said that the Wolverine was something you'd buy. When I was done with that vehicle, I was like, if I could afford it, this is the side-by-side I'd buy. The other vehicle that I really was impressed with, and it's one I just got the opportunity to test, and I have three, I'm sorry, but I'll go through the next two quickly, was the Maverick R. And if you're not impressed by the Maverick R, Can-Am really screwed up, because this is everything that you can possibly do to a sport side-by-side is done. It's the biggest, it's the baddest, it's the most powerful, it's everything. You don't have enough fingers.
See, I feel like you got to test out Ferraris and Escalades, and you're at home driving horses and buggies.
Yep. I'm not going to apologize for that. It's just the way things lined up. But that vehicle was very, very impressive. Not just because it has the most travel and it's the widest and whatever, but because the technology inside is like next level technology and how it works.
And you got to ride the fully jammed out version.
XRS
right?
Smart Shocks, so like you can't check any more boxes. And
no.
Again, though, it's in the same category that I think we're going to hear, and we have been hearing a lot of comments on when it comes to the Expedition, when it comes to the new Maverick, when it comes to the 2-liter Polaris. All of these vehicles, people harp online and say, yeah, but look at the retail price.
Okay, before you go there, though, let me talk about my third, okay? 'Cause this is, I'm actually moving up in level, so just give me a minute.
Oh, I know where you're going with this.
Okay, so
I know where you're going with this.
Then the next vehicle that I'm going to say impressed with, but there's a caveat to that, is the Polaris Ranger XD 1500. That is a completely new category, something totally different. And Polaris didn't just come and say, we're going to build a vehicle that's ultimate work vehicle and then make it like stripped down and just crap. It is super nice inside. Like it is comfy and all the features and everything special. However, it is the most expensive side-by-side in the industry right now. Canadian, $65,000 Canadian.
For the Crew North Star.
Crew North Star.
So heat, AC, glass all the way around, lined interior.
Power windows, front and rear.
Windows. Yeah. Like
no heated seats. But.
Well, and so definitely, I know we can say, because we've read all the comments online, this is insane. Why is it getting so expensive? Why is it going here? And I get it, and trust me, like I wish that we were at a lower price point for all these vehicles so more people could afford them. COVID screwed up a bunch of that. I think we're past that now, but I think the manufacturers have got to the point where they're selling vehicles at that level, and they're not going to turn around and lower the price if they're all being sold. And I talked to a local dealer who had a Crew North Star Ranger 1500. XD. It's pre-sold, done. $70K, over $70K Canadian with tax. He already had it pre-sold and it hadn't showed up, and he said, I wish I could order another one. I'm like,
and that's the
mind
key.
blown.
Because I agree with both of you when it comes to price, that things are crazy expensive. But here's the reason why that's not something we should complain about. because they're selling every one they make. So if it was like these dealerships were full of unsold, super expensive side-by-sides and ATVs, then you go, you guys are making a mistake. You're not talking to your market. But the dealerships aren't. They're empty. And I also feel, this is always my online when I do comment, it frustrates me when I comment on those posts.
It's
But
like you got there.
I know. But the thing I always say is, just because this expensive vehicle exists
Doesn't mean you gotta buy it.
doesn't mean you have to buy it. Every manufacturer makes this model, and then they make this model that is what most people should be driving anyway.
I do think that retail prices will drop slightly over the next 12 to 18 to 24 months. Is it going to be dramatic? I don't think so, because I think we've gotten to a point where they're not going to be able to drop 10K on any of these vehicles. It's not going to happen.
Yeah.
But do I think that there's probably some
Wiggle room.
retail incentives coming? Probably, because the market is changing.
And the best advice we can give probably to our audience and our viewers is just play within your budget.
Yeah.
You know, you don't have to buy these expensive ones. There are awesome performance machines at value prices.
As
and
we've
every
shown
manufacturer.
in this talk right here, there's been every level of value, and every one of them is equally as much fun.
Absolutely.
Off-road is fun no matter how you do it.
Absolutely.
Play within your budget. I think that's a good
That's a great one. Yeah.
Dirt Tracks has been sponsored by Kawasaki. Let the good times roll. MBRP Performance Exhaust, built for the victory lap. And by Mad Ramps. Leave the trailer and go.
There have been countless ideas and designs in the trailer industry over the years, some good, many quite bad. But there is one design that has endured, mostly unchanged since the very beginning. Today, Marlon has taken the basic two-place flat deck trailer design and elevated it to something that is multifunctional, customizable, and adaptable. Their newest trailer model, the 12-foot multi two-place trailer, which is also available in a 10-foot length, does things no other trailer has ever done. It gets wider when you need more space. This 12-foot multi-trailer is all aluminum, which means it's extremely lightweight. So light, in fact, that it's pretty easy for one person to wheel it around on flat ground without much effort. The deck of the trailer in its base form does not include the traction setups we have here, but it does include the multi-position tie-down point extrusions on each side and in the middle. The sides of the trailer are also extruded aluminum, which you might recognize as being the same as their sled decks. The deck of the trailer includes a tilting mechanism that allows for drive-on, back-off loading and unloading. The tongue is a wishbone design, which means it's more than durable enough to handle anything you can throw at it. A high-quality galvanized torsion axle and galvanized wheels are standard, as is the rear loading bar and LED lighting. Marlon offers a long list of upgrades you can add to your trailer to set it up to suit your needs perfectly. The trailer we have here includes upgraded 14-inch aluminum wheels and matching tires, which increase the load capacity of the trailer from 2,595 pounds to 2,750 pounds. We also have a front-mounted salt shield, full Super Glide ski glide and traction setup, onboard storage for the optional loading ramp, a matching spare tire and carrier, the aluminum tongue box, motorcycle wheel chocks, and the side-by-side ramps. All of these features and additional upgrades are amazing and will allow us to haul the widest variety of items possible. And yet, this trailer is hiding one final feature, and it's the one no other trailer in the industry has. Like Marlon's sled decks, the 12-foot multi two-place trailer can get wider by sliding the sides of the trailer out. It works exactly the same as the sled decks, except instead of pins holding the sides in or out, you use bolts for a more secure setup. As I said, this is a feature that no other flat deck trailer has, and it was originally intended to benefit mountain riders who don't need a wide trailer in the winter because their sleds are relatively narrow, but still do need a wide trailer in the summer to haul around their powersports toys or other large cargo items. Where I live, I see this being more of a convenience and ease of use feature. In the winter, when you need the trailer to be wide for your trail sleds, you extend the side. But in the summer, you might not need that extra width for side-by-side or dirt bikes, so you narrow it up, which actually makes towing the trailer easier and more efficient. But it also makes it easier to park and store the trailer during the week when you're not using it. You could also load 2 ATVs sideways with lots of room to spare. If you haul 2 trail sleds or want to haul 2 ATVs side by side, you'll want to run the trailer in its wide configuration. Of course, being 12 feet long, 2-up ATVs fit no problem, as do many longer side-by-sides. Or with the excellent weight capacity of this trailer, especially with the upgraded tires and wheels, you could realistically haul 2 ATVs in a dirt bike, or a side-by-side in a dirt bike, or 2 ATVs and 2 kids ATVs, or 4 dirt bikes, the possibilities are really endless. On top of all the power sports equipment, hauling lumber or building supplies or other cargo type loads is well within this trailer's wheelhouse. Obviously, the usefulness of a trailer, especially a flatbed one like this, is only limited by your imagination. But knowing that you have more than enough weight capacity and the ability to increase the deck size of the trailer opens up possibilities many other trailers wouldn't be able to accommodate. While all of these tech features and payload possibilities are what's going to spark your imagination for Marlon's multi-two-place trailer, what should really push you over the edge is the build quality and the attention to detail. Anyone who's ever used a Marlon truck deck knows Marlon builds extremely high-quality products that are built to last. There are no corners cut, and the high-level attention to detail is evident in everything from the materials used to the welds and fasteners to the routing of the electrical wiring. If you're looking for an enclosed trailer, this obviously isn't the one for you. But if you're shopping for an open deck trailer that has the highest build quality, longest list of features, and most versatility, this might just be the one you're looking for.